Welcome. I'm Jacob, and if you've been running on empty for longer than you can remember, then this practice is for you. Burnout isn't weakness or failure. Burnout is what happens when someone capable keeps giving without ever taking time to receive. You got here because you care, because you show up, because stopping never felt like an option. Well, right now, it is. Please go ahead and make yourself comfortable now. You might like to lie on your back in the traditional Yoga Nidra posture of Shavasana, arms resting by your sides, palms turned gently upward, your legs long, the feet falling open at their own natural angle. But of course, if another position feels better for your body, then please take it. There truly is no wrong way to be here. If you have a pillow, a blanket, or anything that helps the body feel more supported, then please feel free to use it. Every small comfort matters today. A body that feels held is a body that can finally let go. So take your time. Make any final adjustments, shifting, settling, finding that last degree of ease. And when you're ready, allow the body to become still. Feel the surface beneath you. Notice how it's already doing the work of holding you up without any effort, without needing anything in return. And for these next 35 minutes, you don't have to hold yourself up or together. Allow the ground, this practice, to fully support you. If your eyes are still open, then you might like to softly close them now. And we'll continue with the breath. I invite you to inhale slowly through the nose, long, unhurried, and also unforced, letting the lungs fill, and then exhale through the mouth with a long, slow, complete release, like setting something down after you've been carrying it for far too long. And again, inhale, filling the body. And exhale, releasing, softening, letting go. One more inhale. And release. Feel the body a little heavier now, a little quieter. Nothing to manage, nothing to perform. nothing required of you. And bring your awareness gently to the heart space, the center of the chest. A Sankalpa is sometimes called the heart's deepest desire. It's not a goal or an affirmation. It's the truest statement of what you most want your life to be. Beneath all of the noise, beneath the exhaustion, beneath everything you've been carrying. You might have one you've been working with, or maybe a secondary Sankalpa, or simply an intention that feels more alive right now. Could be something entirely new, something that has quietly presented itself to you in this moment. Just allow it to arise without forcing. Simply open yourself to receiving and listen. And if nothing surfaces, that's perfectly fine. In that case, you might like to rest with something like this. I give myself permission to slow down. Or maybe, I am enough exactly as I am. Whatever carries the most truth for you today. Repeat it 3 times now silently, from the heart. We'll now move through the body in the rotation of consciousness. You might like to think of this as gently switching on a light in each room of the body, one by one, without rushing, without needing to change anything. Simply following my voice, touching each part with your attention, and moving on. Let's begin with the right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the right side of the chest, the right waist, the right hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, the sole of the foot, the top of the foot, the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. And now come gently to the left side, the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and a little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the left side of the chest, the left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, the ankle, the sole of the left foot, top of the foot, and the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. Moving now to the back of the body, the back of the head, the back of the neck, the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, and the space between the shoulder blades, the mid-back, lower back, the right glute, left glute, and the entire length of the spine from the bottom all the way up to the base of the skull. Coming to the face and head, the crown of the head, the forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, and the space between the eyebrows, the right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, the right cheek, left cheek, nose, the upper lip, lower lip, the chin, the jaw, the throat, dropping down to the center of the chest, the right side of the chest, left side of the chest, and navel, sensing now the whole right leg and the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, and the whole left arm, and both arms together, sensing the entire back side of the body and the entire front side of the body, and finally the whole body together at once. See if you can feel yourself as one complete being lying here, not a collection of problems to solve or tasks to complete, simply a body, whole, supported. Bring your attention now to the breath. We'll work with a simple pattern that's effective for a nervous system that has been running on overdrive. When the exhale is longer than the inhale, the body receives a direct message that it's safe to rest. It receives the signal that the urgency is over, that it can finally stand down. Let's try it together. Begin by inhaling gently through the nose for a count of 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through the nose or mouth for a count of 8. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhaling for 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And a long, complete exhale for 8. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll invite you to continue this rhythm on your own for a few rounds now. As always, if this count doesn't work for you, then please feel free to change it to one that does, simply ensuring that the exhale remains longer than the inhale. And now, let the breath return to its own natural rhythm. No counting or shaping. Simply observe the quiet, automatic movement of a body that knows, even when you've maybe forgotten, exactly what it needs. And we'll move now through pairs of opposite sensations. Simply allow each experience to arise and dissolve. There's nothing to hold on to and nothing to push away. We'll begin with effort. Bring to mind the feeling of effort. Perhaps you can recall what it feels like to keep going when you're already empty. The body still working. The mind still engaged. Thinking, solving, organizing, responding. Holding everything together. Just allow yourself to feel that safely, just for a moment. And now allow it to dissolve and bring awareness to ease, nothing needing to be managed, nothing requiring any solutions, no one waiting for a response. The body resting exactly where it is, the breath moving on its own. Pure ease. And now bring awareness to depletion, the feeling of a well that's been drawn from too many times. Maybe the particular heaviness of having given more than you've received. Simply acknowledge that feeling. It's real, it makes sense, and it arrived because you cared enough to give. And now allow awareness of fullness to arise. The quiet sense that underneath the depletion, something remains. A reservoir that hasn't been touched. A part of you that the burnout hasn't reached. It's still here, still whole, capable of receiving. Releasing from these sensations now, and allow the mind to become soft and receptive. What follows are images. Just let them arrive and pass, like slow, quiet thoughts at the edge of sleep. First, a forest in the middle of winter. The trees are bare. The branches reach upward into a pale sky, holding nothing. Every leaf has been released. Every flower has withdrawn. But the forest, it isn't struggling with this. It's not fighting the emptiness or trying to produce something it doesn't have. It is simply resting, restoring, in the dark and the cold, what it will need when spring returns. This is the forest doing exactly what it needs to do to survive, and more than survive, to come back fuller, greener, more alive than before. The forest knows something that burnout makes us forget. That rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is the source of it. And allow that image to soften and dissolve. And now imagine the ocean at low tide. The water has pulled back, far back, exposing the dark sand, the rocks, the quiet life that lives at the edge. The ocean doesn't push against the tide or try to maintain the appearance of fullness. When the time has come to withdraw, it simply recedes, completely, without resistance, because it knows, it's always known, that the tide always returns. You are allowed to pull back, to recede. Remember, the tide always returns. And let that image soften and dissolve. And finally, a single candle in a dark room, not burning brightly, not performing, just a small, steady flame, giving exactly as much light as it has to give. No more, no less. It doesn't compare itself to the sun or apologize for being small. It simply burns at the pace that is true for it in this moment with what it has. And somehow, that small, honest flame is enough to illuminate the entire room. Remember, you are allowed to burn at the pace that is true for you. And allow all three images to dissolve. What remains is the understanding they all carried, that rest is not retreat, that withdrawal is not failure, that nature never burns out because nature knows when to stop. And so do you. You came here today because some part of you still knows. And allow yourself now to drift into the deepest layer of this practice. Let my voice become part of the background, like music heard from another room. It's there if you notice it, gone if you don't. Beneath the burnout that brought you here tonight, something in you remains untouched. Something that didn't burn out. Something steady, quiet, whole, that has been here all along, waiting for you to stop long enough to feel it. You might be touching that now. There's nothing to do from here, nothing to figure out or improve. Simply rest. Simply be. Simply allow the practice to complete its work while you do nothing at all. And from this deep, still place, allow your Sankalpa or intention to return. Your heart's deepest desire. The intention you planted at the beginning of this practice. And repeat it now 3 more times, silently from the heart. Simply allowing it to settle into this receptive state, the way seeds settle into soil after rain. And very gently now, begin to bring your awareness back to the breath. Notice the body breathing again. Feel it moving. The quiet, reliable rhythm of a body that has been caring for you this entire time. Breathing, resting, restoring, without being asked. Maybe noticing the points of your body that are touching the surface beneath you. Becoming aware of the room around you once again. Your senses returning. The sounds, the smells. There's no rush here as we return. And as always, if this practice ends before you fully return, then that's okay. Please take your time and come back at your own pace. When it feels right, begin to deepen the breath slightly. Not forcing it, just inviting a little more presence with each inhale. Eventually, you can bring some physical movement back to the body, starting small, gently, with your fingers and toes. Maybe the wrists and ankles, as if the body is remembering itself from the inside out. Allow these movements to gradually become larger. And when you feel ready, maybe rolling to one side and resting there for a moment before using your hands to guide yourself up to a seated position. And just take a moment here before you return to the world. You came here running on empty, and you stayed. You gave yourself this time. That matters more than you know. Burnout heals slowly, not in a single session, but in the accumulation of moments like this one. Moments where you choose rest over production, receiving over giving, stillness over momentum. And I'd like to thank you for being here, for practicing with me. I love hearing about how you enjoy these practices, so please feel free to leave a comment below. I also release frequent new Yoga Nidras every week, so you might like to subscribe so you don't miss any. And if you want to explore what it looks like to build recovery into the foundation of your life, not as an afterthought but as a pillar, you can find everything at jacobmark.com. Take good care of yourself. Namaste.